2, 1. Nice. Hello, everybody. My name is Alexandra with This is Improv, and welcome to another season of Talk About It Tuesday. We are very excited to start up our interviews again for this fall season, just for you beautiful creatures. Today I have the amazing, glorious, and multi-talented Marianne with me today.
Hi.
So Marianne is someone that we had met through taking a refresher improv course through UCB. So Marianne, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm from San Francisco originally. I moved down to the LA area to pursue acting. I got into theater, and then I got into like a little bit of film and that sort of thing. I was born in the Philippines, so I'm Filipino, but I grew up here in San Francisco, actually.
Nice. San Francisco is so pretty.
It is, yeah.
So what led you to get into acting?
Ever since I was a little girl, I've always liked performing. When I was maybe I was like a toddler or like in preschool kind of age, and I would watch like soap operas with my mom as a kid in the Philippines, and I would actually put on skits for her. And it was just me and her at the time. My dad was already in America, so it was kind of fun. I liked to make believe a lot when I was a kid. And then I got into other kinds of performing type of things. Like I started taking violin lessons when I was 9, and I continued that through orchestra all throughout like high school. And then during college, I just did the usual college thing, go to school and all that, and then get a job after. When I got laid off from my corporate job as a tax accountant, that's when I started to feel down on myself. And then I started to think about, what is it that I really am passionate about? What do I really love? And that's when I thought about it, and I said, well, I really love performing and I love acting, although I was never allowed to, because my parents said, well, you need to get a good job out of college, and acting doesn't pay the bills. So I ended up having to put acting on hold for quite some time. But when I got laid off, I was like, wow, this is a great time for me to explore what I really want. And who's going to stop me now? I'm an adult.
Yeah.
So then that's when I started to explore like acting classes. I went to one acting workshop. I really loved it. The instructor there just gave us some sides for a commercial that she was working on before, and we did a few other scenes for like something theatrical, and she actually made me cry. Like she taught me like how to dig into my feelings, and I was able to cry like right there in class, and I was like, oh my god, like I really have like a reservoir of feelings and things that I could tap into, and I could put that into acting. And with everything that I've gone through my life, because it wasn't an easy childhood that I grew up into, or the environment. So I've got a lot of these life experiences that I could put into my characters for acting. And so I said, well, okay, let's look into acting further. And so I decided, after I took that workshop, that I would pursue actual classes, like regular classes. And then I first got into Stanislavski. And because I just thought, well, he's kind of like he's not the main founder of, like theater acting, but he's kind of like,
he did a great like skeletal work of
yes.
what should be happening on stage. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so my instructor at the time, he came from Yale School of Acting, and he was really like technical. He was kind of scary, actually, because he would be like, so what do you want from this character, or this your scene partner? And I go, I don't know. I just want to be loved. I just want a kiss from this guy. Well, because that's what the scene was asking for. But I think what he was trying to point out was he wanted an answer that was more like from within, not just like the tangible or whatever was right in front of you kind of motive. So then I was like, oh my God, this teacher really terrifies me, but he's so intense and so good. He made us read a bunch of different, well, he made us buy a bunch of different books, and then from there extract certain types of ideas, and in order to formulate our own way of being able to act on stage.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, it was such a great experience. And I was so lucky that that was my first class. And then after that, I went on to the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco. I took some classes there, also related to theater, like musical theater, and other types of scene analysis type of courses.
Nice.
And then eventually it got to a point where I was getting all these auditions, and I got some parts, and I was booking things, and I thought, well, I want to be serious about acting. So why not move to LA? So I sought out a plan to move to LA, and found my way here. I actually prayed about it before I moved, because I was like, I don't have any money. I don't know what resources I'm going to have to make it down to LA. But I prayed and prayed, and I said, Lord, if this is for me, please help me find a way to get there, because you are the only one who can make this happen for me. I have no resources except you. And he made a way for me to come down here. I'm still here now. I'm married with a daughter, and it's like amazing that I made it down here. I never thought that I would be down here, like, pursuing this, and I love it. Like, I know it's hard being an actor, but I love it. And I know as long as you don't give up, you'll just keep going, and eventually you have a breakthrough.
Yeah, it's crazy how, like, when you first get into going through theater, like where it leads you and who you meet along the way, because you end up making all these connections. I mean, through our UCB class now, we're just constantly on that group messenger. Like, how's everyone doing? So it's crazy you meet along the way, and it's always amazing. And when you were formulating your own way of acting on stage, what did you find helped you more? Like, if there was a specific style or something that you feel like you developed?
I think it was just remembering like a visceral experience with what I was going through in my life, and connecting that with the character I was playing on stage.
Yeah.
And that helped ground me a lot.
Yeah. That's a great method. When Uta Hagen talks about it, it's like as ifs and things like that. So those are always great circumstances to try to like get into the mindset of like, okay, who am I playing today? I need to be able to do that. Would you say there's like out of the games that we've learned through improv, or the games you learn just through theater and acting in general, is there a specific warm-up that you found helps you before going into an audition?
Well, to get the jitters out, I like to just jump and scream.
Nice. Yeah.
Because I have so many, I'm a really like introverted person. If like you met me in person, I would just kind of be shy for a little bit. But once you got to know me, then you would see my personality come out. And so once when I get into like an audition, that shyness or my timid self comes out first. And in order to get rid of it in front of like casting directors, I just have to like shake it off and jump around and just get my energy really pumping, my adrenaline and everything, just kind of let it out. And once that comes out, it's like, okay, the real Marianne's gonna come out now.
That totally makes sense. 100%. You see people do like weird contortions before an audition, or like going off talking to themselves or something, and then finally you see their personality come through, and you're like, oh, you just needed to like release some energy. I get it. It's totally Because this is Talk About It Tuesday, I have to ask, do you like tacos?
I do like tacos. I used to make tacos for dinner, but not anymore. I haven't had time.
I know, right? Oh God, they're so fun to make. So what's like your build? What's your taco build?
I'm kind of boring. I like just the classic taco.
Hey, classic is good.
It would just be like ground beef and tomatoes, onions, some guac, some salsa on top, maybe some cheese.
Yeah, it sounds delicious. Sounds okay. What led you to doing improv? What led you to taking those classes?
Good question. So I've been like doing a lot of scene analysis type of
Mhm.
courses, and I did a few like commercial type of courses as well. I've never done improv, but I have seen how like a class has been conducted for improv. I think it was short form because that's what really drew me into improv when I saw the games and exercises that they were doing, and I just thought, wow, this is fun, and it really like gets the person out of their shell so
Mhm.
that the real work of acting can come out and just you'll see them their talent really shine. And I really didn't know what to expect with UCB because I kind of was under the impression, oh, it'd be kind of like short form because I didn't know the difference between long form and short form.
Right.
But once we got into the long form of improv, I was like, oh, it's different. And then now I look at it as an art and not an art, but like,
No, that
it,
makes sense. Yeah.
like because I just thought like improv is kind of like you just like make things like funny
Yeah.
like as a joke, and so it was hard for me in the beginning to think of it as like something that you could use for acting. I just thought it was just something that like silly people kind of
Yeah.
just put together and was like, okay, now let's make fun of this and it's
Right.
a joke. But it's
Yeah.
actually more than that. I mean, like, it's very helpful in acting because it gets you to think on your feet. And a
Mm.
lot of actors, when they're in a room full of casting directors for an audition, you just don't know like what to do if you don't know how to think on your feet.
Yeah.
And the nerves get you.
Yeah.
So improv I feel like would help me in that sense, and that's why I decided to take it because I thought, well, I've gone to some auditions where we've had to do something and we had to improv, and I was like, whoa, what's that?
Mhm.
Like how do and they would give me scenarios, and I'd be like, okay, then what do I do now?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't know how to think on my feet, and then that's where I would get that block and that challenge of, oh my god, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah, it happens, and that's I think that's also why Angelica and I got into improv is because we realized, oh wow, I feel way more comfortable doing this than some scripted work sometimes because I have the freedom of creation.
Yeah.
So getting into it has helped so much, like not only on a work basis, but like on a humanistic level of existence almost, because you have to listen, you have to be there for someone, you're supporting your team, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it was crazy when we first started playing with other people, how the complete strangers, and we were like, no, 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 don't worry about it, I got you. And to have that trust in someone
Yeah.
was like crazy. I think with improv, it's like it was so cool. And seeing our class develop over those 8 weeks, we ended
Yeah.
we ended up just being like, I know exactly what to do with you. I know what we can do together. It's good. We're good. um when you think of yourself, what do you think is something that people cannot tell just by looking at you?
um they probably can't tell that I know how to fight.
Yeah.
That I know martial arts and I'm pretty good at it. Not bragging, but I
No, no, no,
know.
brag, brag, brag.
Well, I learned Taekwondo when I was 18 in college. I was actually what motivated me was that I was harassed around campus. I was going to a junior college, and this guy was following me around the school while I was trying to look for the student union. And it was just weird. He just
Yeah.
was literally on me, like, where are you going? Oh, I can help you. No, I'm fine. I got this. I know where it is. No, but here, let me just walk with you, because it might not be safe. Or he was just talking my ear, walking with me. And I was like, what is this guy's deal? And then once I finished like doing what I had to do at the student union, I was walking out the door, and then all of a sudden he grabs me really hard on my wrist. It was really hard. It was like
Yeah.
it was unforgettable because like it was so hard, and he gripped me so hard, and then he said, well, you're not leaving until you give me a kiss. And it was so scary, and then I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And immediately I reacted. I went like this with my wrist, and so I was able to break free from his grip, and it was just by instinct. And then I ran straight to like the cafeteria, went to my friend, like, who does that in school? School's supposed to be safe place to learn. And so ever since then I was like, I'm going to take martial arts, because in that situation I don't know what would have happened to me if I did not have the instinct to just, you know, like pull my arm away and just run for my life. It was so scary. So then I took Taekwondo for a year, and then I got into Shotokan. I got up to purple belt back in college, and now I'm retaking that. Now I'm now taking it up again, because I feel like I already started it, so might as well finish it. So I want to get my black belt in Shotokan. I'm testing, I think, later this month to try to catch up to my purple belt. And then after Shotokan, I just took a bunch of other different types of self-defense arts, just to kind of like hone in on my skills over the years. And so I was playing around with like my martial arts friends, and I was learning a little bit of Hapkido, judo, and then I got into boxing, I think in 2011 or 2010, something like that. I took that for about 9 or 10 months, and I got pretty good at it. I was going up for a fight, an exhibition fight, and then everybody was saying, you're an actor and then you're gonna ruin your face just for boxing. And I go, what are you talking about? I you know, like I'm trying to stay fit, and then why can't I fight? And they're saying, well, you know, I mean, you're not a bad looking person. Do you really want to ruin that?
No.
And I was like, I thought about it, and I go, would my face really get ruined? And then I started to do some research, and I go, okay, maybe. And then I prayed about it, and then luckily the girl that I was gonna fight, she backed down last minute. So that gave me like a way out. I was like, okay, I did not like chicken out of the fight. She did. And now I could just be like, okay, I'm gonna walk away now, because you don't want to fight me. And guess what? I think I'm just gonna do cardio to stay fit. Yeah. And then after that, like, you know, life happened. I moved down to LA. Oh, I got into ninjutsu for a little bit. I got a yellow belt in that art. That art is hard. It's like what you see in the movies where you're like sneaking around, but it's so acrobatic and so physically demanding. And I was like, oh my God, this is like one of the hardest martial arts ever that I've had to learn, because it's so physically demanding. Like, and then my neck would hurt because like the way that I would land would be wrong. But over the years I learned, and now I'm taking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu along with Shotokan Karate, and I've learned a lot of good chokes from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
That's cool. Yeah.
I just feel more empowered and confident, like as a woman and as a mom, because with everything going on, like kidnappings with little kids and human trafficking and all that stuff, it's been so popular in California, like especially like Northern California and Southern California, just because my parents are up there. So I visit my parents a lot, and so I'm always like trying to listen to the news up there and down here. Because of all that, it triggered me to like really become more alert, but also be physically aware of myself and what my capabilities are. And Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is it's a martial art that's you do on the floor. Oh, mostly like you're standing up and you're doing stuff like, you know, you're kind of holding the person, and should you get them on the floor, then you would know how to like, you know, wrestle with them and grapple with them. So being that I'm petite, I feel like more people would be wanting to like grab me, and then just could easily like put me in a bear hug and then just run away and, you know, pick me up, right, toss me in the van or whatever. But if I knew somehow to get out of those grips, like if they did a bear hug, I would know how to get out, and then be able to turn around and choke them if I needed to. Then at least that would save me. That would, you know, my survival rate would go up. Right?
So it's true. It's just like you feel so much better, and you just feel like way calmer about yourself if you choose to take the time to do that stuff. It's true. Yeah, that's awesome.
I have one story. Can I share?
Yeah.
So my brother told me that he was at a bar with my brother-in-law and my sister, and something didn't feel right in the bar. So my brother, because he's just so aware of his surroundings, he like went to another part of the bar because that certain area he felt like was something was going on. There was some guy that was sort of starting to be belligerent. And instead of telling my sister and brother-in-law, he just kind of like went off on his own. And so my sister was just hanging out. I don't know where she was exactly, if she was exactly at the bar or she was standing up with her drink. But somehow this belligerent guy came over near her, and all of a sudden, I think he might have like, he punched her or slapped her, and she like flew for no reason. She like, it was untriggered. And like he punched her in the face. And then I think from what he told me, she flew like maybe 2 feet or something, because it was like,
God.
you know, and my brother-in-law, he knows Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I think he's already a black belt. And so when that happened, my brother said he just came back and he saw that my brother-in-law had put the guy in like a chokehold and put him to sleep.
Oh my God.
I was like, whoa. But I mean, like, you know, you just never know when you're going to need some sort of like self-defense or
using improv in life kind of thing, like using your gut, your instinct to do things, to problem solve and stuff.
Yes.
And I've noticed that a lot of the training that I've done in improv has helped me in situations where I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm going to talk my way out of this and I'm going to walk away, you know?
Thinking on your feet really helps a lot.
Yeah, definitely. What would you say to someone who would want to get involved in the arts?
Listen to your gut. If you really are interested, research it, talk to people who are in it and learn more about it, and just go for it.
Yeah.
You know, just go for it, because at the end of the day, it's you, whatever's in your heart is what's going to make you happy. And if this particular art, or if, you know, getting into the arts is going to make you happy, or you're even slightly interested in it, why not explore it? Because once you explore it, you'll learn more about it and you'll fully know whether or not this is for you. And you might just love it.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're lucky to be in a community of very helpful people. So no matter who you ask, you're going to get something out of them. You know, you're going to get some form of experience that they've had. That's awesome. Is there anything that you're working on, or any way to get for people to keep up with you or your journey or whatever you want to plug in?
Oh yeah. So I wrote a short film last year and I produced it and acted in it. It was just my very first one. So now it's in post-production. It's almost done. It's called Beyond Words. I will be submitting it to film festivals. So I'll be sharing that on my social media. I'm on Instagram, _ Mary.Ann with no E _17. I'll send that to you.
Yes.
I also have an actor's website, mariannelumba.com. I could send that to you as well. And that's my very first project as a filmmaker.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so exciting. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Talk About It Tuesday.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing. Anything that Marianne mentioned on how to get into contact with her involving keeping up with her journey, it will be linked down below in the description. So please make sure to check that out. If you would like to take any improv classes, writing classes, or you just would like to have a giggle, definitely go to www.thisisimprov.com and you can sign up for one of our drop-in classes today. You can also click the subscribe button and hit the bell notifications to keep up with our comedic journey. I hope that you have a wonderful, beautiful, and glorious rest of your day, you beautiful creatures. Eat some tacos. It is Taco Tuesday, so that is the thing that we do today. And thank you again so much, Marianne, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.